Yo, this is Mo Verney on the move, but staying home, doing my part during this provincial lockdown pandemic here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. First of all, Happy New Year in 2021 for everybody. Hopefully, everything will be better. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Uh, we believe we're in this together. Um, I'm dedicating this feed blog, setting my goals that I'm a diehard Raptors fan since 1995, but I dedicate to myself that during 2021, I'm going to do more feed blogs and talk about my beloved Toronto Raptors. It is disappointing to see that the Toronto Raptors starting off 1-6, but there's no need to panic. Um, I have to tell you, before the NBA regular season start, I my prediction was the Toronto Raptors will finish sixth in the Eastern Conference. And I have followers who actually question my pick, and there's like, dude, like they should be top three position. They will be better than Boston Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers based on my standings, as I picked Boston and Philly to finish better than the Toronto Raptors. Even myself, I didn't expect our team to be 1-6, but at the same time, um, let me tell you why the Toronto Raptors are 1-6 right now. And there are a lot of factors going on right now, and it's not even just one issue. There are tons of issues. That's the problem right now with the 1-6 Raptors. And I think the only win that we got from New York Knicks was because the New York Knicks were not able to beat our zone, and they didn't even have the personnel to shoot the 3 pointer, and they were attempting 3 pointers, and then they couldn't make it. That's how the Raptors got that lone win. But let me break it down on my observations on why the Toronto Raptors are not doing well right now. Losing Serge Ibaka hurts. Losing Marc Gasol hurts. At the same time, I feel like right now a lot of pressure is being on Siakam. You can tell that he's not having fun, what he call fun. You don't see him smiling anymore, and I think it's a lot of stress going on a player who is still developing and trying to be that number one option by the public, by the Raptors fans, and by the media. To me, I don't think he's that number one option. He is a good number two option. But here's the problem. His 3 pointer is not really very effective during the bubble and even during now in this early season. When he trying to go inside with his spin move, it's so predictable that the defender has studied him so hard, knowing what his move is. So he doesn't even have any go-to moves to go inside. And it's very frustrating to see him going in, trying to get a layup, and he still miss all of them. The biggest problem for Siakam right now is when he goes in, he can't finish. You can't even do a layup. He doesn't dunk. And then defensively, he fouled out in many games and have 4 or 5 outs. Now, I'm not saying that it's all his fault, because you have to understand, when a player actually get a lot of foul out, it's because one, they are very lazy defensively, or they give up on the defensive play. But you also have to understand that in the past 2.5 years, he was having accustomed to the luxury of having Serge Ibaka or Marc Gasol backing him up. So if an opposition blow by him, he doesn't have to worry, because he knows Serge or Marc Gasol is going to be into paint to protect the rim, so that he doesn't need to worry. But now with Aaron Baines and Alex Len and Chris Boucher, there's still a transition period to get used to the defensive scheme of things. So now Siakam is kind of feel like, okay, if someone blow by him, Aaron Baines is not there to block. Boucher is not necessarily in the right place to guard the players. So Siakam feel like, okay, you know what, I need to foul the guy. So that's why you're seeing a lot of foul out and high number of fouls on Siakam. But eventually, I think like when all these front court players, Aaron Baines and Alex Len and Chris Boucher, getting more comfort and they communicate better with Siakam, then Siakam's foul trouble should be okay. But now let's talk about it. Another thing, I found that in the past, the Raptors, especially Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry, there's a lot more screens setting up by the big man so that the Kyle Lowry and Freddie can go inside, or there's a lot of more pick and roll. This year, I hardly see any pick and roll by Kyle Lowry or Freddie VanVleet. There's a lack of screens. It seems to me that because the more games they're losing, the more of these guards, Kyle Lowry or Freddie, trying to carry the load on their shoulders, and basically they are playing hero ball. you see some ball movement, but it's not like passing to people to create plays. It's like I pass it to you, I pass it to you, and then you check up a shot. So there's not really a good transition ball movement team play. It's just more like I'm passing to you and you check up a shot. That's what I've been seeing in every single game. And another thing I'm seeing is our players are trying to attempt a lot of threes. We basically don't have the personnel that can consistently shoot threes. Freddie's in like one game he could get red hot on behind the arc, or another game he only have 8 points because he's struggling to shoot threes. And then Norman Powell not really reliable, OG not reliable, Siakam not really reliable, Aaron Baines not very reliable. The only guy I kind of feel like is reliable is Kyle Lowry as a starter. Like he is more consistent, and then maybe Matt Thomas. But then again, Nick Nurse is not really using him right now. So I kind of feel like our Raptors are attempting a lot of threes and settling threes, but we don't have consistent players that can actually make those threes. So when your big guys are trying to jack threes and they're not making it, there's going to be a lot of rebounds. So if your big guy is behind the arc, then who's going to get the rebound? So we're getting out rebound. We're lack of size. So there's a lot of issues. And then Nick Nurse, I don't understand what he's doing. Like, why are you not playing Matt Thomas? Why are you not playing Malachi Flynn, who has a good preseason? And then TD, Terrence Davis 3. I think during the regular season, it is time to kind of like see what these guys can do, and go from there, and let them play. Like let them make mistakes. Like to be honest, like as long as we make the playoffs, I don't really care what position they're in. So this is my breakdown on why the Toronto Raptors are 1-6. I think as long as they can build more confidence, play more team ball, then eventually I think that the Raptors will be okay. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling right now with the Toronto Raptors? Love to hear from you. And remember to subscribe, and thank you for your support. Wolverine's out here.